Being a roller coaster enthusiast in the United States is something I don't take for granted. With over 700 roller coasters operating in the country, there are certainly a lot of opportunities to get your adrenaline rush. Now living in Missouri, I think it is a great spot to be a coaster enthusiast with 3 solid amusement parks and several other parks in the region. However, there are other states that I would consider to be hotspots for amazing roller coasters. So in this video, we will unveil the top 10 states to be a roller coaster enthusiast. Hey everyone, this is Kalahale from Destination Thrills, and we are here with another ranking video giving you the top 10 states to be a coaster enthusiast. Now, we had 3 criteria that we came up with when factoring our rankings. First, the number of coasters in the state matter, but it's the number of coasters in the state in proportion to the size of it. So just because California has the most roller coasters doesn't mean it's necessarily better than smaller states that may have fewer coasters. So we are going to take the number of coasters in proportion to the size of the state. Second, we also looked at the quality of the roller coasters. So just because a state has 100 coasters doesn't mean it has 100 good coasters. It may have 100 Vekoma SLCs, Boomerangs, and Wild Mouses for all we know. So a park that may have a couple gigas and compared to a park with 50 SLCs, we are going to obviously favor the park that has the 2 gigas. So quantity is important, but the quality will matter as well. The third and final factor, we are going to look to see if there are any amusement parks or roller coasters that are within a 3-hour driving distance from the state line. So just because you may not have a lot of coasters or amusement parks in your state, if you have easy access to other parks in other states, then that should factor into the rankings as well. I take Missouri for example. Yes, we already have Silver Dollar City, Worlds of Fun, and Six Flags St. Louis, but we are also only a less than 5-hour drive from parks like Six Flags Great America, Holiday World, and Kentucky Kingdom. So I like to take that into account as well. So now that we have looked at what has determined our rankings, let's jump into our top 10. At number 10, we have Indiana. Indiana is home to 1-ish 2 large amusement parks. Indiana Beach was supposed to be closing, but now it appears a new buyer has come in and has potentially rescued this amusement park. And this park has a few good roller coasters as well. But the main draw in Indiana is in Santa Claus, which is Holiday World. Holiday World is known for some classic wooden roller coasters such as Raven, Legend, and of course, one of my favorite coasters of all time, the Voyage. So having that in your home state is a pretty good deal, but it's actually the parks that surround Indiana that put it at number 10. To the south, you have parks like Kentucky Kingdom and Kings Island, which are just less than an hour away from the border. In the northeastern part of the state, in a city like Fort Wayne, you are about 3 hours away from Cedar Point. And on the northwest side of Indiana, near the city of Gary, you're only about a 2-hour drive from Six Flags Great America. So there are some really high quality parks with some fantastic coasters just within driving distance from the state alone. And that's why Indiana is our number 10. Moving on to number 9, we have the great state of New York. New York is home to 45 roller coasters, from the classic Coney Island Cyclone to the modern Tantrum roller coaster at Six Flags Darien Lake. This state is definitely a must visit on our list, but what makes New York special is how close a big metropolitan area such as New York City is to all of the theme parks in New Jersey, a state you will definitely see later on in this video. There are some other really good parks that surround the state as well, such as Six Flags New England and Lake Compounds. And if you live in the western part of the state near Buffalo, New York, you are also within a reasonable driving distance across the border to Canada's Wonderland. This gives New Yorkers plenty of opportunities to get their thrill on. Jumping to number 8, we have good old Texas. The state has many quality theme parks, the 2 Six Flags parks over Texas in Dallas and Fiesta Texas in San Antonio. San Antonio is also home to a SeaWorld park. There's also several smaller parks across the Lone Star State. So why is this not ranked higher? Well, because the state is so large, there are many cities, especially in the western part of the state, that aren't very close to some quality theme parks. Take El Paso for example. It is a 7+ hour commute just to reach the Texas parks that we mentioned above. Also, if you're looking for parks that surround the state, the only major one within a 3-hour drive from the state line is Frontier City. However, there is enough quality coasters within the state, such as Iron Rattler, that Texas had to make this list, and that is why it is at number 8. Moving to number 7, we have Maryland. Maryland is home to Six Flags America, which opened in 1982 with coasters such as Firebird and Superman Ride of Steel. The state has a total of 23 coasters, so you might be thinking, well, that's nothing too special, right? Well, it's the quality of the parks that surround this state that put it at number 7. Within a 3-hour drive from the state's largest population center, Baltimore, you have Hershey Park, Nobles, Dorney Park, Six Flags Great Adventure, and King's Dominion. And if you want to extend that out to a 4-hour drive, you could also reach Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Those are some really high quality parks within a reasonable driving distance. So if you're a thrill junkie living in Maryland, consider yourself lucky. Alright, let's head to the number 6 state on our list, which is Virginia. Home to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, and King's Dominion, this state obviously has 2 amazing theme parks. These parks hold some world-class thrill rides such as Twisted Timbers and Apollo's Chariot. But the main draw for this state is Intimidator 305. Many claim this is one of the most intense roller coasters in the world. Its G-forces are so strong that it causes some riders to black out during that high-speed turn after the 300-foot drop. So besides having a quality giga in your state, Virginia also has neighboring parks such as Carowinds, home to Fury 325, and Six Flags America, which we mentioned earlier. And just think about it, to have 2 of North America's 5 giga coasters within a reasonable drive time is a luxury that many people don't have. And that is why Virginia gets the number 6 spot on our list. Cracking open the top 5, we have the Sunshine State, Florida. Florida has many quality parks: SeaWorld Orlando, Busch Gardens Tampa, Universal Studios, and of course all of the great Disney parks. And in 2020, one of the most talked about newest roller coasters will be unleashed to the world, Iron Gwazi. Now, Florida is a bit isolated from the rest of the theme parks in the US, since it is at the very corner of the country. The closest park is Six Flags Over Georgia in Atlanta, which is a couple hundred miles from the state line. But with coasters like Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure and Mako providing their thrills, plus the rumors that more coasters are going to be installed in the next few years, I can certainly say it is an exciting time to be a Florida coaster enthusiast. Crossing over to the other side of the country for our number 4 spot, we have the state with the most total roller coasters, California. California has a total of 89 roller coasters, and you can find these adrenaline producers all over at Disney parks, historic boardwalks, and larger theme parks such as Six Flags Discovery Kingdom and Knott's Berry Farm. The state also has the famous Six Flags Magic Mountain that currently holds the record for most coasters in one park with 19. Now, with this kind of resume, you might be wondering, why is California not number 1? Well, this is one of the situations that we factored in the size of the state compared to the number of coasters. For example, if you're in Southern California or the Bay Area, then you have plenty of choices for theme parks and roller coasters to ride. However, parts of Central and extreme Northern California do have some driving to do to access some of these home parks. But the main reason it drops to number 4 is that it is very distant from other quality states. More than likely, you will need to fly if you want to visit parks in the central and eastern part of the country, which actually hold a majority of the quality parks in the US. Outside of California, the rest of the states in the western part of the US are lacking in quality roller coasters and theme parks. It sort of puts California in its own theme park island. With that said, with over 80 coasters to choose from, most coaster enthusiasts will be more than fulfilled with their local thrill machines, and that is why we put California at number 4. Moving on to number 3, we have the state of New Jersey. Although the state is the 4th smallest in the country, it ranks in the top 10 for total operating roller coasters with 43. And we're not talking about a bunch of kiddie coasters either. They have the steepest roller coaster in the world, TMT's Shellraiser, that opened in 2019 at American Dream Mall. New Jersey also has the world's tallest roller coaster, King Ka, an Intamin Stratocoaster at Six Flags Great Adventure. And the Garden State has a bright future as well. Opening in 2020 will be the world's tallest fastest, and longest single rail coaster, Jersey Devil Coaster. Now, not only are there so many amazing coasters within the state, but look at some of the parks that surround New Jersey. You have Hershey Park, Dorney Park, Nobles, Six Flags America, which are all just a few-hour drive away. Plus, with American Dream Mall opening up, it is an indoor park, so you will get the luxury of thrills 365 days a year. So you New Jersey coaster enthusiasts should be very pleased with the amount of thrills in your backyard. Okay, moving on to number 2, we have the state with 2 high-quality amusement parks. You might have guessed it already, but we have Ohio. Now, if you are a coaster enthusiast anywhere in the world, there is one amusement park that you most certainly have on your bucket list, and that is Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio. Known as the roller coaster capital of the world, this massive thrill universe has 17 roller coasters, including record breakers such as Gatekeeper, Valraven, and what some say is the greatest roller coaster in the world, Steel Vengeance. But it's classics such as Magnum XL 200, Top Thrill Dragster, Maverick, and Millennium Force that put this park on the map for several years. People from all over the world travel for hours, even days, just to get to Cedar Point to enjoy these world-class machines, but those in Northern Ohio get to call this place their home park. Now, Cedar Point being in your state alone would put you on this countdown, but this state has another special place that has several quality roller coasters, and that is Kings Island. Just outside of Cincinnati in the city of Mason, Ohio, this park operates a total of 13 roller coasters with a 14th, Orion, set to open this year. One of these roller coasters happens to be the longest roller coaster in the world, and that is the Beast. The Beast has been terrifying its riders for over 40 years now, and its long journey deep into the belly of the woods provides one of the best nighttime ride experiences out there. As we mentioned earlier, Kings Island will also be opening Orion later this year, and that will mean that Ohio will actually have 2 Giga Coasters in the same state. Now, there are only 5 Giga Coasters in North America, so to have 2 in the same state is truly special. And on top of that, they have Top Thrill Dragster, which is a coaster over 400 feet. And if that wasn't enough, you have parks like Kentucky Kingdom and Holiday World that are really close to the state line. Now, the way we just talked about Ohio, you're probably thinking this should be number 1 on our list. But for this countdown, it actually belongs to its neighbor to the east, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania ranks number 33 in total square miles of area, but for some reason, Pennsylvania has the second most operating roller coasters of any state with 55. This state has world-renowned parks such as Hershey Park, Kennywood, and Nobles. It's also known for some unique, innovative roller coasters as well, such as Phantom's Revenge, Steel Curtain, Storm Runner, Fahrenheit, Phoenix, and of course, Sky Rush. With so many fantastic roller coasters, you don't really need to leave the state at all for your fix, but if you decide that these parks just aren't enough, well, you get the luxury of being surrounded by 4 other states that made our top 10. So for that reason, it was a no-brainer for us to choose Pennsylvania as the number 1 state to be a coaster enthusiast. So these were our top 10 best states to be a coaster enthusiast. If the area that you're living in isn't providing you with enough thrills, then you may want to consider moving to one of the states we mentioned in our countdown. Now, did you agree? Did you disagree with our list? Let us know in the comments below which state you believe is the best state to be in if you are a coaster enthusiast. Now, stay tuned. We are actually going to be releasing a follow-up to this video by providing the 10 worst states to be a coaster enthusiast. So make sure that you are subscribed to Destination Thrills and turn on your bell notifications for this channel so you don't miss out when that video goes live. Now, if you like these ranking videos, then I will list some of our other top 10s in the description below, as well as our most recent one in the card above. Thank you all for watching this video of the top 10 states to be a coaster enthusiast. I'm Kalahale Ben, stay safe out there and have a good one.